Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis. And with that being said, I hope that you're all having a beautiful day or a beautiful night wherever you guys are out there in the world. There has been a lot happening around this space in the last couple months. And right now, the market kind of seems to be pretty boring, right? For a lot of people, this might not be the same because, again, it all depends on what you're actually looking at. I mean, if we go to the trending and we look at the last 24-hour gains on some of these meme coins and altcoins, there is some nice upward movement, but not as much as we were used to seeing on the last 30 days. I mean, there's been a lot of meme coins going crazy, but for the most part, altcoins really haven't had a massive move yet. And this is all because we are not yet in alt season. Now, in this video, I want to address a few things. I actually want to talk about XRP, price predictions, stuff like that. Just kind of the overall view of the market right now. So let's actually start off with a few things. XRP has been very boring, and it's been very boring since the last spike up, which did happen about roughly on the 11th of the month. Since then, we have come back down and we tested like 58, 56 cents, somewhere around that range. And now we're just kind of going sideways, waiting for the next move. And this is what the yearly chart looks like on CoinMarketCap. Obviously, you can go over here to the candles if you wanted to, but don't worry, I do have the TradingView chart open. I will talk a little bit more about a few things when it comes to XRP. I just made a video yesterday talking about XRP's price action. What are we looking at? Is XRP about to break out? Where are we right now in alt season? What's the main thing that we're watching for when it comes to XRP? And mainly it's the Bitcoin dominance charts, the Bitcoin pairs for a lot of these altcoins as well. Now, in this video, like I said, I want to talk a little bit about the cycle. So as we look at the top gainers and losers today in the top 100 in the last 7 days, there hasn't been a lot of movement around altcoins. I mean, we're seeing, 10% all the way up to 137%, but this is like an outlier. And some of these are meme coins, some of them are not so much meme coins, but what I'm trying to get at with a lot of these prices is that there's not a ton of significant traction here or movement. Most of the top losers, again, not a lot of downward move either. It's kind of neutral at this point in time in terms of the market because we are just waiting and we're just kind of grinding sideways, especially even Bitcoin. I mean, if we look at Bitcoin for the last month, this is what the price action looks like. Now, yes, we had that nice spike up to almost $74,000. We came back down to almost $1,000, and now we're just kind of going sideways. In the last 7 days, this is what the Bitcoin chart looks like. Sideways price action. Now, I put out a post regarding this, and I said markets have been very boring the last few days. As we get even closer to the halving, I think we all know what happens next. Now, a lot of people will say, well, Nick, you're being very cryptic with this. What's actually going to happen? Well, as we look at the Bitcoin halving, we are 20 days away from the halving. They are looking at this as being roughly April 19th, maybe even around April 20th. Regardless of if we actually look at the date itself, it doesn't matter, right? All we need to know is that the halving is coming up in April. It's happening in April. Everyone will put a lot of weight on the halving because, again, when we really look at past and prior history when it comes to the Bitcoin halving, it typically leads to a major move in the market. For an example, here we have the previous halving events for Bitcoin. Here is 2012. This was November 28th, 2012. And you can see exactly what happened after that in terms of going into 2013, into 2014. Then, of course, we have 2016 as well. The price of Bitcoin was $648 from the prior halving, which was $12. And then, of course, 2017, 2018, the bull run. Bitcoin surges over $10,000, almost hits 20-some thousand dollars. Then the third halving, which is 5/11/2020. This is May of 2020. This was roughly $8,572 for Bitcoin. And then guess what? Bitcoin surges to almost $70,000 in 2021. And now Bitcoin is currently trading at roughly $70,000 ahead of the Bitcoin halving, and everyone is saying, well, now Bitcoin has to go to $200,000, has to go here, has to go there. I've talked a little bit about this. I actually think that Bitcoin tops out somewhere around $100,000. I know, crazy, right? A lot of people will say that, Nick, you're ridiculous. It's going much higher, and that's okay. The main thing that I'm really looking at when it comes to this bull run is that I don't want to get left bag holding. Why? Because I do think that this is the last bull run where we don't have regulations, which means if we are about to see regulations come into the space, this could be the longest bear market in crypto history. Especially when you look at the economy, right? If we are about to have a recession, if things are about to break heavily, that means that things in terms of the liquidity cycle are going to be rough. Remember, crypto runs off of the liquidity cycle. The halving is really kind of just an event around Bitcoin. Everyone thinks that the halving determines where the market goes to. It's mainly the liquidity cycle. That's why when we look at Bitcoin, everyone's like, for the first time in history, Bitcoin is front running the halving. It's because liquidity has improved drastically in just the last, 2 years almost. When we look at this, right, does that mean that we're expecting, a very shallow price action for altcoins and things like that? No. We want Bitcoin to go as high as it possibly can because it does help the rotation into altcoins. But I do think that a lot of these price predictions around Bitcoin right now are a little bit ridiculous. We're starting to see the, $500,000, the $750,000, and even the $1 million price predictions for Bitcoin because of where Bitcoin is right now ahead of the halving. That's why I'm very comfortable with saying, $100,000 would be very good. But if we do go to like 150 or even 200,000, that would be great. But regardless, when we think about where we are at right now in the cycle, I'm mainly watching altcoins rather than Bitcoin. I don't care what Bitcoin does as long as it goes to, a high price. When we look at the total, this is what I'm mainly looking at. So I have this arrow back here on the chart, and this is the past, just the recent halving, which was back in 2020. Now, as you guys do see, the total actually sold off right ahead of the halving date. We actually saw a 19.4% pullback, and this is after the March of 2020 crash. Now, what ended up happening after was a 1,085% move initially to the May 2021 level, and then a 1,295% move to the actual top, which was November of 2021. This is where we are currently at. We've already had an 18.78% pullback. If we do have a deeper pullback like we did see back in 2020, around roughly 19%, I don't think that we go that deep, honestly. I'm expecting us to backtest the resistance zone from roughly April of 2022. Again, this is a solid demand zone. I would be very, very focused on losing this area. But again, it's the idea that we might see a 19% pullback, we might not. Either way, a pullback is something that happens every time that we get closer to the halving. We already had a pullback here, so I'm not expecting us to have like a massive crash or anything like that, but prepare for one regardless. The best way to prepare for something like that, but also be positioned in the market in case we don't have a pullback, is just to have some stable coins on the sidelines for buying. That way you don't have to wait for them to clear on the exchange. You could trade them openly. You could send them to another exchange. You could send them to a DEX. That way you could buy when the time is right. A lot of these exchanges will hold funds. They'll kind of keep like half until the payment actually settles. So again, that's the way that I really kind of prepare accordingly for any, price action movement. But as we are getting closer to April, I do think that we should prepare for possibly, a pullback or something like that. But what I'm really looking at is not so much the pullback. I don't care about the pullback. What I care about is the upward move. From this level that we just tapped back in, it was March 20th, actually. I'm looking at $5 to $7 trillion for the total crypto market cap. Now, I've been hearing about the $10 trillion level for a while, and yes, we could go there. If we hit 10 trillion, we're talking about a 355% move off of those lows just recently. Now, the reason why I'm bringing up those lows is because, again, I'm going off of the lows from when the halving came in and the moves that we made after the fact. Now, I know that a lot of people will say, well, we had 1,085% moves back here and 1,295% moves. So that means that we have to do, a 1,000% move. And that's going to take the entire crypto market, to over $24 trillion. Anyone that is trying to say like, oh, we're going to repeat these percentages identically over here, it's wrong. Listen, we are in a market now that is worth over $2.5 trillion. All right. Back here, the entire crypto market, we're talking about the total crypto market, was valued at $200 billion, guys. Diminished gains happen when you have a lot higher prices and a lot higher values. Now, with that in mind, XRP. What is XRP going to do this cycle? I've said it a million times already on this channel, and I will continue to say it. If you have a target, say for so you wanted to make $10 million, right? It's a lot harder to invest $100,000 and turn $100,000 into $10 million in one go around, right? Because the longer that you hold, say for so you turn that $100,000 into $1 million, the longer that you hold that $1 million, the greater the chance of you tripping that 1 million back to 100 grand or even lower. Never round trip life-changing profits. What do I mean by this? What am I talking about when it comes to this? Well, if XRP this cycle only went to $5, right? And you had a goal of $10 for XRP, it is far better to take the profits off the table at $5, reinvest when we actually hit close to the bottom in the bear market. You'll typically know when we're at that bottom because it will feel like the entire market is about to cascade and collapse, just like FTX, right? We were talking about it. This is the most bearish event in crypto, and it basically marked the bottom. We'll know when the bottom is in. But the thing that I'm talking about here is if you have life-changing wealth, you could take the profits and reinvest on the lows and turn that into much larger amounts of wealth in the next run up. And in this case, we're talking about a utility bull run, possibly being the next bull run. So as we look at XRP, if you have $1 million and you wanted to hit $10 million, that is a 10x away. But with $100,000 trying to get to $10 million, that is a 100x. It's a lot easier to 10x than 100x. And even better, it's a lot easier to 5x or 2x or 3x, anywhere within there in crypto. That's why when we look at this space, and I'm talking about XRP, and I'm saying like, my range on XRP is $5 to $10 this cycle. I see so many people saying that it won't or it can't happen. And I've, of course, talked about Ethereum, Bitcoin, things like that. But regardless, right, a lot of people say like, oh, $5 to $10, that's so low. That's not going to help me at all. The whole idea that you have to make $1 million, you have to make this much money, you have to, have this much money to be successful in crypto. It's all nonsense. Stop comparing yourselves to anyone in the space. First off, there's a lot of people that have been around in this market for a while that have a massive amount of money to buy, specific altcoins in very large amounts. Meaning there's people out there that have, $1 million, $5 million, $10 million invested into just XRP alone. So when XRP does hit $1, $2, $3, $4, they are looking very, very good, which also results in a lot of sell pressure. So as we do get to these higher prices, there is going to be a lot of sell pressure. And how many people are going to be buying XRP between $5 to $10? I'm sure that there's going to be buyers, but it's not going to be as significant. So as we think about where we are headed into this market, you need to understand that the number one thing to take into accountability this cycle is to not get stuck bag holding. Does that mean that you have to sell your entire XRP bag? Absolutely not. And I would not advise anyone to do so. Keep a moon bag on the sidelines, but take your profits, because we don't know what's going to happen after this cycle. Even if we go higher than these targets on this chart, we're still going to see a massive pullback in the total crypto market cap. We'll say 75%, right? Safe figure, even back here in 2017, 2018, pullback roughly 90%. We did about roughly a 76% pullback this time around. We'll say 50%. Even if we drop by 50%, you're still looking at a very significant pullback across the board for altcoins. And no altcoin, no project is safe from those pullbacks, XRP included. So as we think about that, right, we need to make sure that we are taking profits off the table and paying ourselves. People have made mistakes like this time and time again. The number one thing that I don't want anyone to be doing this cycle is holding any of their bags back to the starting line, or even worse, under the starting line. You want to actually make money this cycle. You don't want to be sitting there bag holding. And the same goes for any altcoin. And honestly, I would be diversified into specific things like the RWA space and even the AI space. But XRP will perform, in my opinion, and it will perform very well. But again, it might not be in, the interest that, XRP is going to $100 this cycle, because a lot of those price predictions are just nonsense. They're engagement farming. It's all for clicks. It's all for likes. It's all for views. XRP, a safe bet, in my opinion, this cycle would be $5 to $10. That's my overall prediction on XRP. But the number one thing to take from this video is not so much the price prediction. It's more so what to do as we get closer to those prices. You want to make sure that you're paying yourselves. But I do think that the market is about to erupt in prices and value and volume, and overall, mainstream media is going to be pushing Bitcoin and crypto heavily over the next couple of weeks and months after the halving. But the big thing is that we might see a pullback right before things actually take off. So don't be surprised if we do see a deeper pullback, even from the level that we are trading at right now, which would be about roughly a 19, almost 20% pullback down to about roughly 2 trillion before we have the next big move in the market. So the best way to prepare is have stable coins on the sidelines, remain calm in your high conviction plays, and just focus on the much bigger picture here. So with that being said, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on because more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord in the description below. And with that being said, guys, it's been Nick. Thanks for watching. Peace out.